Okay, I got recording is good. So you are good to go, and I'll mute everyone else.
Hey, Janelle.
Yes. Yay!
My note-taking book.
Thank you. You gotta go play.
Okay, Kelsey, I have everyone muted now, so you're good to go.
It said that Kelsey just joined again, so I think maybe she lost.
Can you all hear me? You all can hear me? Okay. Yeah, it keeps telling me that I have unstable internet connection and that I don't have audio. So that is what I have been trying to fix. All right. But if you all can hear me, I will go ahead and get started. Sorry about that. I live in Harlan County, and we have the worst internet I have ever seen in my life. When I lived in Georgetown, it was great, and moved back to Harlan, absolutely terrible. You can ask Jessica. Harlan County internet is horrible. Okay, so I just jotted down some notes earlier. Let me get my iPad here. So I jotted down about 8 things that I'm just gonna run through that I thought were some of my top 8 tips for PRV. And I'll just go through them very quickly because I know there's more speakers. The first one is authenticity. So being authentic with people is just in general as a person is a good quality to have, but also with your customers, being authentic as far as your pictures, posting in your stories, using photos in real life. Just an example, just the other day, I posted a picture. I was almost embarrassed to post it really because it was of my counters and I was cleaning, like after I put my girls to bed, and it was using like the Squeeze the Day counter clean. And I was using that cleaner, and I just posted a random picture in my VIP group of my dirty, nasty counters. And I thought, oh, I'm embarrassed that I even posted this. And then the next day, I got literally $100 in counter clean sales. So I was like, okay. Because I ended up offering it to my customers. I originally posted the counter clean, but I posted it as I made like a little quick graphic on over that I do for free. And I offered it as a bundle with the dish soap. So for $20. And so I ended up selling and getting 100 PRV just from that, from a picture that I was like, wow, I'm embarrassed that I posted this in my group. Because it was something authentic, because I was like, wow, this counter clean not only cleans great, but it smells amazing. If you like, I said something along the lines, if you like lemon, this is the bomb, you need this. And then people was like, oh, I love lemon cleaning products, I need it. So being authentic in your pictures, and even if you are maybe embarrassed to post it if your service is dirty or whatever, your customers love that. Because I always try to think about it too. If I were not a consultant and I was going to buy that, would I buy it if they just posted a graphic? If I had just posted that bundle, would I buy that? I would be thinking, well, is it worth the money? And things like that. So I think it's super important to show you using that product in your everyday life. No, you can't touch that. I've got a little helper here that's very strong-willed. I'm gonna move my iPad so she can't touch it. Okay, so let's see, what was my other one? Also pricing. Part of being authentic with people is recognizing, especially since COVID has happened to people, recognizing that, $10 may not seem like a lot to me for counter clean, but it may be a lot to someone else. That's maybe a single mom, maybe someone that's lost their job. Maybe someone, that's living on a smaller income than you are. So one thing is, if I know a little bit about a customer, or even if I don't, a lot of times I always try and offer and say, if they're interested, and, usually you can tell if they're really asking about something and they're interested, but you know how you kind of get those feelings that maybe it might be out of their price range. I always offer to give them a personal shopping link or open up a party. And a lot of times, if I do a party with someone, they don't even have to do a Facebook party, but I will literally just open up a party for them. And as I get orders, I make them the host just so I can offer them some rewards. That way I can bless them with some Scentsy, even if some things may be a little out of their price range. My second one is customer appreciation. This is something personally that I'm working on more in my business, is thank you mail. I've never really been super big on thank you mail, honestly, just because I don't have a lot of time. I have twins. I have 1-year-old twins, and I'm a teacher. So anybody that's in education knows how stressful that is right now, and I just simply don't have a lot of time. But I'm working on doing something simple yet meaningful to send to my customers, because I think they deserve it. Someone that, just buys like a few car bars off of me, I may just send them a text message or something like that. But I think thank you mail is something that is very important for higher PRV, and also doing shout outs for your customers. And one thing that I am seeing more and more, and I've seen this posted a lot in the big groups too, is using your stories, like your Instagram stories or your Facebook stories. Literally, I have gotten lately a lot of sales just based off of my stories. So I think I'm even going to start maybe shouting customers out in my stories, just to do it, just so more people see it. Because I have, like, on average, like between 150 to 200 people that see my stories every single time I post one, and that's more people than what views my posts on my regular Facebook page. Here, she might want these bars. I'm sorry, baby. You're grabbing at everything mommy has. I'm very strong-willed, you guys. Very strong-willed. I need a lot of prayers with her, I can tell already. Number 3 is, and this is something that may not be relevant to everyone, but for me, in my area that I live in, it is: do local bulk orders. If you do not do a lot of local bulk orders, do it. Like, I was typically, when I had a lot more time to devote, I was doing like 4 a month, or at least 3. And here's why I say do local bulk orders, is because sometimes you can offer free shipping, or if you just want to pay for someone's shipping, maybe you do a giveaway, maybe you just pick somebody you want to offer free shipping. I do that too, just because people like free shipping. And literally, earlier I had a customer that wanted the letterboard warmer. And so she purchased that and a wax bar, but she wanted to do the local bulk order that I have going. Literally, when she found out she was still going to have to pay $5 shipping, she almost like backed out of the whole thing. And I was like, do you drive your car out of your driveway because you spend $5 doing that? Like, in gas, like $5 shipping is not a big thing, like, to me, but to some people, shipping is a very big deal. So that's why, if you do a local order and you can have people maybe do a porch pickup, or I have people come and get things out of my mailbox, I drop stuff off on people's porches, things like that. That helps me a lot, because most of my sales, for me personally, come from bulk orders. I do get website orders, but that's not where the majority of my PRV comes from. And also when you do a bulk order, you can always offer a host kit, you can offer a starter kit. A lot of times too, with my like perpetual party reward, I will like offer a half off to a customer, something like that, because typically they use the half off and buy something else. So that's always a plus too. My fourth one, and this is something I'm also doing a lot more that I have started with 2021, is samples. Um, do a lot of samples and hand them out. People like free stuff. And I really like toward the end of 2020, I really saw the meat of samples, because I sent out a lot more samples, honestly, just trying to get rid of a lot of stuff. And, of course, I had some people that didn't order anything, but then I had some people that did. Like, I had one girl place a $200+ order just just because she liked the few little felt samples I sent her. So, felt samples are good. And also, if you're a busy mom like me, I don't always have time for felt samples. So, I have started buying the wax bars, and I'm just cutting it up and sticking it in a cute little baggie, with a label, because I just don't have time to do felt samples all the time. Also, number 5 would be invest in you and in your business. Now, this is something that I believe very strongly in. Use your Scentsy money to invest in your business. Each paycheck, even if you use part of your Scentsy money to pay your bills, use the portion of it to go back into your business, to buy cutesy mailing supplies, to buy labels, to buy ink that you need. Use some of what you earn to make an investment in your business, because if we're all being realistic, if I buy from someone or from a company and it ships to me and I love the packaging, or I love how it comes, I like how the display looks before I open it, like, I'm more likely to buy again, because for whatever reason we think, well, heck, that looks so cute, I want another package that looks like this. So invest in your business, buy the cutesy stuff. And I'm not saying wasteful things, buy useful things that are pleasing to the eye, that look really good. And then part of number 5 in investing in yourself and your business is use part of what you earn to treat yourself. I know, since I had daughters, I have 2 daughters, my twins are both girls. I spend a lot of money on them. And so, because I spend so much on them, I may not necessarily spend as much on myself as I used to. But since I started selling Scentsy, I don't feel guilty anymore for using a small portion um, of what I earn, or a large portion, on myself, because I can. And that's what I've told some people. Like one of the people that ended up joining on my team, by the way, a girl that I sent samples to, thinking, oh, she's going to place, an order. She just said, hey, I'd like to join, just from my samples I sent her. So I was like, well, okay, that's great. But she's a mama also. And this is, kind of something we talked about, is how it's nice to have the extra money, even though you still earn it, like, my teaching job, it just feels different. It just feels different to spend what I earn on Scentsy on things, extras, versus, my normal income. So I think it's very important to invest in your business and invest in yourself. So that is a very important one to me, because you deserve it. Number 6, this is something that a big one that I'm personally working on, and it is to set realistic, attainable goals for you. Okay, realistic and attainable. Okay, those are key words. So it's easy to look at people. I know for me, because I am a pretty new consultant, it is easy to look at others and think, wow, I suck, because I'm not getting as high PRV as them, or I'm not promoting as much as them. But also, you have to look at their obligations versus your obligations. And I'm not saying that like that we're not all busy or that my obligations are more important than theirs. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying we're all at different places in life. Some people do this as a full-time business. This is their full-time family income. They should make more PRV than what I do as a side hustle. Okay. I've watched trainings before where they say if you treat it like a side hustle, you'll get side hustle pay. That is true. But guess what? That's okay. Because if this is not your full time job, it's okay to have that as a goal. It's okay because you don't need to feel like a failure if you're not getting as much PRV as someone who this is their full time job that they can work on for 8 hours a day when you might can just devote, 30 minutes to an hour when you put your babies to bed at night. Because sometimes that's all I have. So it's okay to not get as much as someone else. And I think it's unrealistic to compare yourself to someone. We need to set realistic goals for ourselves and goals that are attainable for us. Okay, not trying to compare yourself to this person and that person, but really dig deep within yourself and say, okay, like for me, for example, starting in January, it's like, okay, Kelsey, what is a realistic goal for your PRV every month that you can squeeze in with your Scentsy business, being a full-time teacher, being a wife, and still, pouring into your marriage, being a twin mom, and still being a mom to your girls? Because ultimately, my girls are my number one priority above everything. I tell people that at my job, for obligations or anything, they are my number one before I can make obligations at church, before I can make obligations at work. Being a good mother is my number one. So I had to sit down and say, okay, what is an attainable goal for myself that I can realistically accomplish and still keep my priorities in check? So that's just something to think about. We're all at different places in life, and that's okay. That's okay to see your name as number 5 for PRV on your team and not number 1. Maybe number 5 is your best, and that's okay. It's just like, in the classroom, I wouldn't expect a child that I know their absolute best, let's say, is getting a B on something. I'm not going to keep putting that pressure on them to get an A because that's what we think it should look like. If their absolute best is a B, I am going to shout them out for that B, okay? Because maybe they're coming up from an F or a D level and they're making a B. I'm going to shout them out for doing their absolute best, no matter what that looks like. Because success doesn't have to be a narrow definition, especially for Scentsy. Okay, you can pop the top off of that success definition and make it your own definition. It's not black and white. Okay, it's not black and white when it comes to your version of success. Okay, give yourself grace and don't stress about it. That's like one thing I wrote for my goals is give yourself grace, because Lord knows I am so hard on myself. I'm my worst enemy, my worst critic, my worst. Give yourself grace. It's okay. Take a breath. It's okay. It's all right. Let's see. Oh, and my 7th one, this one is just to make a plan. When you set that goal, when you set that realistic goal, make a plan for it. So once I set what I would like to try and get for PRV every month, I made a list and I said, what steps can I take to meet this goal? What can I do to meet this goal? Is it sending out thank you mail? Is it offering free shipping? Is it doing a mystery host party? Is it having X amount of parties every month? Is it, leaving samples in my coworkers' mailboxes? Like, what is it that I can do to try and meet that goal? So it's important to have a plan. It's important to, number 1, set your goal, and number 2, make a plan to reach that goal. If you don't reach it the first month, that's okay. You're not a failure. Reevaluate, work it out. Just say, okay, this didn't work this month. Let me try again for next month. Let me make sure. Yep, that was all I've got. for PRV tips.
I love all of that, Kelsey. Especially when you said about not comparing yourself, because I just love that, because everyone does Scentsy for a different reason. And so you can't compare your beginning to someone else's middle, because you're in completely different spots. So I really love that. And I love how you said that everyone's success is different, because what you want out of this is what you want out of this. You should want it, not because that's somebody else's goal, or that's, what you actually want out of this. So I love that. Thank you. You did great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Laura, Serena.
I can
Serena,
go next.
okay. All
That's
right.
okay, Laura.
Okay,
I made a list too.
mute it real quick. I think we just have one more to make sure. Let's see here.
Okay, so the very first thing I put on my list is if you love it, it will sell. I personally, I feel like with my customers, I love all of Scentsy's products, and the products that I love the most sell the most. So washer whiffs, for example. I love the washer whiffs. I use them on absolutely everything that I wash, and I've sold a ton of washer whiffs because of that. I'm really big on wax. Every 3 days I like to change out my wax because it kind of helps me get in the mood to clean and brightens my spirit or whatever. So if you love it, it will sell. I post pictures of my warmers throughout my house. I change them out throughout the seasons. I put my spring warmers out because I'm demanding that it be spring. So if you just show people that you love the products and that you want them to love the products, they are more apt to buy from you. Instead of just pushing products on people, I always go live and I try to explain to people that I want them to like the products. So I offer a ton of samples. I tell my customers, I want them to like the products, so try it before you buy it. And I will offer samples of absolutely anything that we sell because I want them to like it before they buy it, because some of our products can be a little pricey. So that is number one. I talk fast, so try to slow it down. I have to remind myself to post frequently in my groups. So my Facebook groups, I also have an Instagram that I do. And that includes parties that I'm doing. So if I have somebody hosting a party for me, I will be honest, I put in most of the work. A lot of times my hosts don't do a whole lot. Okay, I'm back. They don't do a whole lot, but I put in a lot of effort because I'm the one that, sorry, people keep calling me. I'm the one that gets the PRV from the parties that people are hosting for me. So I don't mind to post in their groups and share and go live in their groups and talk about them personally and talk about the products that they like. Because after all, the parties that you are having people host for you, they are getting the rewards, but you're getting the PRV. And you're getting a bigger customer base. Sorry, Emery wants to help. So when I'm not from Kentucky, I'm from Arizona. So I have learned that if I host a party for someone, I reach a whole new audience of people. So I've had my friends in Arizona host parties for me. I have customers in New York, New Jersey, Arizona, California. I have customers where most people wouldn't think to have customers just because I'm not from here. But because I'm not from here, I've reached bigger audiences by branching out. And I make sure to send happy mail to those customers, whether they're in New York or California, whether it's just a postcard or the scent of the month. So with the scent of the month, that's moving on to my next point. Every single month, whether I like the warmer of the month or not, I buy the scent of the month because it's a really good bargain and you get a ton of pamphlets. You get enough to make samples. And then you can take pictures of it before it's even launched. So I always buy the scent of the month. I recommend that to my few consultants that are under me and everyone else. You make samples, get that out there. I try to get my scent of the month out by the first of the month. That way they can smell it. And then when it launches on the first of the month, they already know what it smells like. And if they like it, they can buy it. Same thing with the warmer. I just I don't always buy the warmers. Otherwise I'd have like 200 warmers. So let's see, next I do something that has been huge for me. I do a lot of like goodie bags or surprise bags. And that has been a huge, huge hit for me, especially in December. I had a ridiculous amount of PRV through goodie bags. With Scentsy, I feel like a lot of people don't know about all of the products that we offer. They just think we're wax and warmers. So I will post in my groups that I have a $25 goodie bag, and I have 5 of those available. And I always am sure that if somebody claims one of those goodie bags, that I collect payment from them first. So I collect my payment for every single goodie bag that I'm wanting to sell. And then after I have everybody's payments, I just do one big bulk order. Because if you do goodie bags and order beforehand, like if you order the products beforehand, then it's out of your pocket.
I just want to say that you all have been freaking awesome tonight. Like, I'm so glad to see new faces. By the way, I'm totally keeping my camera off because I'm shoving food in my face and I was driving earlier. So you can just look at this picture of me that's really unrealistic that I don't normally look like with, makeup and stuff. I see you laughing, Just Kitchen. You're like one of the only ones on my screen right now. So I'm here for it. But like, to see new faces and see new people show up, and people that even have just joined like a week ago, they're on this call. Like, I just want to say that I'm super proud of everyone that's shown up tonight, especially for it being new and like being in a new group. Like, you've been able to find the new group. You've made it a point to show up to trainings. Just proud of you all and glad to see some new faces leading trainings. Okay, I'm turning my mic back off.
I like that you did that, Caitlin. I was like, I don't want to like interrupt and get to talking too much because I feel like I can't ever shut up. So we're good though.
Serena, is she all right? Bless it. Oh. Do you want who else was going? Lauren? Is that who it was?
Laura.
Sorry, I don't have my thing on. Do you want her to go ahead and come back to you, Serena? All right.
Okay, I can unmute myself. Okay, that works. Okay, I may have some little heads pop in here too. And Kelsey, I have 7-year-old twins and a third random surprise. So I am proof that you can live through it. I completely understand you don't sleep for years. I get it. So good job. There's one of my twins. Okay, you can.
I love meeting another twin mom because only twin moms really know the struggle. No,
it's not. It's not just an extra kid.
No,
like, it's crazy.
No. When I have friends that had babies at the same time as me, and they just had one, and when they would start complaining, I'm like, "Oh, you don't sleep? Oh, breastfeeding's hard for one? Oh."
But just wait, if you have an extra one, like if you have a third, it's gonna be like just a blip on the screen. Like you won't even know that you had the third kid.
Well, that's what I said. I was like, that'll be easy if it's just one. It'd be easy.
There's gonna be a monkey.
Okay, I'll be down in just a second. Okay, but they still interact. Okay, so I will go hopefully pretty quickly. I did not start this to actually sell Scentsy like a job. I am a wife. I'm a mom of 3 kids under 7. I'm an attorney, and I left corporate law to come down and practice with my husband. and practice with my husband, who's also an attorney, in a small town. And we have a full farm. We have a cow-calf operation that we do ourselves. So we are crazy busy. We're crazy stressed, just like everybody else. But I wanted, everything was so connected with my husband, like our law practice, our farm. I mean, it was 24/7 working together, which is great. Surprisingly, we're complete opposites and it works. But I wanted something fun, and I planned parties for my kids every month for everybody on our road. I hadn't been able to do that because of COVID. Honestly, I was just going to use it for my friends and myself to get it and get a good discount, basically, because you get a return on it. But I'm stupid competitive. And so when I got in and Janelle told me about Shooting Star, I was like, okay, well, I need to do that. And then they said, you know, you can do the 3 realms of that. And I was like, well, okay, they say a lot of people don't do that. So I definitely need to do that. And then I've done some insane goals for the end of this, I guess, fiscal year for the Scentsy. So anyway, I say all that to say that I don't do sales. I don't like sales. I don't like to sell things. I don't want to ask somebody to buy something just so I can say that I checked something off or got to a goal. I don't want them to think that I just want an order. So I don't sell things. Like, I literally just want people to think that these are items that they need, and I have, and I can be the vessel that gets them there. So I never ask them to buy. And I know that's probably bad and probably against every marketing strategy here, but I don't. All I do is sample. And so when Autumn said, will you do this? I was like, literally, I sample people. Like, I don't know how that's a good marketing tip, but literally all the time, I have them everywhere I go. When I drop the kids off in the morning at school, one of their teachers that picks them up out of the car now and zaps them to make sure they don't have a temperature, she was like, my dog's really smelly. So the next day she got a full dog care packet so she could get her dog groomed and everything else. I take it to courthouses. I give it to friends. I give it to everybody on my road. I drop random samples in people's mailboxes. I take them to banks. I actually do work primarily for banking institutions, and I'm lucky enough to have regional banks. So I go and give different banks warmers for the warmer of the month. They get to rent it from me, basically, and they get it for a month with the scent, and then whatever else they like. Like, say somebody hates raspberry, I'm not going to give them raspberry. I would give, I always ask the person who has the warmer closest to their desk, like, what scent do they like? So that's turned out pretty good for me. The place where I get my hair cut, and I'm messing with my bangs because I just got them cut yesterday and I'm still not really sure how I'm supposed to work with them. But my hair salon, I guess you can call it that, the Gossip Central. I take them soap and keep them stocked in soap for their tiny little bathroom. So everybody in there knows that it's my soap that I give them. And I did a few little, I pulled a few things together. So I love parties and I want to have parties all the time. And all I want to do is be an event planner. Everybody knows that about me. So I can't do parties right now. So I do themes. So like right now I have a Galentine theme going on. And this is what I give out, like 8 to 10 of these per host. And this has I know, Janelle, I went 5 different directions on this before, but I ended up with a little koozie, a little Valentine's koozie. And then everybody has soap, lotion, and the best buddy stuff. So everybody in the party gets that. And like, I have one hostess who's super fun. She never used Scentsy, didn't like it, but I knew she would be great at it. So I said, hey, do a party for me. And I gave her everything under the sun. She made like $900 party in September, and I joined in August. Again, never had used Scentsy, but I gifted her stuff. Like, she didn't always have Scentsy, so I gave her a few things of Scentsy to use. But then I went beyond that and gave her a gift card to a restaurant that I know she likes and just said, thanks for going out of your way for this. This meant a lot to me, blah, blah, blah. This time she's doing it again. And so I'm making her do a Mardi Gras party because she's super fun and she's so mad at me. But these things, I'm not going to do it right now, but they actually light up with LED lights. So I think it's super fun. And then she has beads to give out to everybody. And then of course she has packs of everything. And then I did little mason jars, which I hope look kind of like shot glasses. I live in a tiny town, which I always say, very conservative. So she's just going to give these out to people that won't think this is bad. Instead of have a drink on me, I did have a soak on me. So and it's green for Mardi Gras. And then the rest of them will just get a pack like this that has beads and stuff in them. So I totally theme everything out. And I have the Battle of the Hostess, which was fantastic. I can't remember what training that was on that we watched, but I'm doing a UK U of L Battle of the Hostess coming up. So I'm super excited about that. And I just try to get all sorts of stuff. Well, the other thing is some people are going to be super scared of parties. So I don't ask them to do a party. I just ask them to share some stuff. And I'm like, hey, I've got some extra samples. You work at Campbellsville University. Do you care to hand a couple of these things out? So they don't know it, but they're getting this. And it's my party bag, but they think it's just my sample bag. So it's got testers and then it's got like random stuff in here for them to try because nobody knows we have lotion, which I actually really like because it's not greasy. And then it has a warmer with a base because nobody knows that there's bases for mini warmers. And everybody thinks I have to spend $50 on a warmer. No, you don't. Get a mini warmer for $20 and then invest $15 in a base and you can change it out every month and not feel guilty. So I do that. And then I give them a ton of little samples to hand out with my stuff on them. And I'm like, look, hey, if anybody wants to order, just have them text me. And I'll take care of all that. If you actually make it to 200, then you'll get tons of stuff. So people have actually really liked that. And I had somebody agree to do it. I didn't think she really wanted to agree to do it. She's just an acquaintance. She's not like a good friend. She actually came back and said, hey, I need to keep this longer because I think I'm going to get more orders. So that is actually taking longer than I thought with her party. But I do giveaways. Oh, I forgot one thing. Sorry. I do notes. And I don't want to miss this one. So I do thank you packs. And I just send out, I have these ready to go at a sample of like a lotion or whiff or something. And then a scent that I have extra or whatever. And I keep a bunch of my scents made up because one, I like to do it. It's relaxing and I can tell the kids to leave me alone while I'm in the kitchen. And two, I like the smell of it while I'm doing it. So I keep a bunch of these around. I stick my thank you note down in here. And then if they bought something like, I hate to differentiate, but if they bought a lot of stuff, then I'll throw something else bigger in here. If they don't buy a lot of stuff, or like say they wanted to buy something else and they wanted to sample it, I'll throw a Scentsy Fresh sample in there or something else. Like for instance, we have goats too. And goats, if you don't know, are terribly smelly if they're male. So she has these little goats running around the way. So I did Scentsy Fresh. I was like, because when they run up against you, spray this on you and you will not stink. So like, I just try to look into that. So anyway, those are my thank you packs. I usually send them in with the order when I'm handing them the order back. I don't always, because sometimes I want to be able to go throw it in their mailbox, drop by their work and say, hey, hope you really liked the warmer and bars, whatever, try this. It's awesome. And it's a second contact and it's a face-to-face with me. I don't like a lot of social media. I know I'm older than the generation that does that, but I'm just still not so good at it. But anyway, okay. So giveaways, I do giveaways on Facebook and, I don't do a lot on Facebook, but I do giveaways and people love them. One of them, like this is just an example. So this lady won. I gave her cleaner. She was so stoked about the cleaner that she went on and posted about the cleaner. So then I sampled her with some soak, and said, hey, just try this out. Like, I know that you're a fellow farm wife and you need this. So she came back and bought the Christmas set. Then she came back and bought all of her stocking stuffers for her grown children and her daughters-in-law. Then she wanted a mystery bag, which, by the way, I want to do mystery bags and nobody likes mystery bags where I live. So I had to reduce it down to $20 to do a mystery bag, which I'll talk about in just a second. So then she wanted to host a party. So she hosted a party, got me 250 PRV with that. Then after she got the mystery bag, she posted about it. I gave them out early because they were Valentine's-y, and I really didn't want them to have the Valentine's-y thing for like 7 days and then have to put it away because I don't know. I'm just like that. So I gave them out early. She literally got me 10 more orders on my mystery bags. I've only ever had one order on my mystery bag. So I'm like super excited, which, by the way, I wasn't going to meet my monthly goal, and her 10 orders on the mystery bags got me to my goal. So that was from giving away a $10 cleaner, which made somebody feel really good about it. Oh, I thought you were going to jump in there. I didn't know if you were going to. Okay. So let me see where I was on that one. Mystery bags. I have to do a low amount. Nobody where I live is going to give $35 for something they don't know what they're going to get and that they may not like. I think some people would trust me, but not everybody. And I just, like, they're just not going to do that. So I did a warmer and a wax set for $20. And I know that that is way more than what they're, I'm paying more than what they're getting, but I'm playing around with all the host rewards, stacking them on my other local bulk orders and getting, honestly, most of them free, which frees up some extra money. And so I always throw in something local. And Kelsey, you're from Harlan. My dad is from Leslie and Clay County. So I totally get where you're from. Take Harlan and size it down by like 3, and that's where I'm from. And we have 2 gas stations and 3 stoplights, and that's the entire county. So we have no grocery store. We have nothing, but we do have little bitty stores, and our little bitty stores are our lifeline. Like, we have a Mennonite store. We're good friends with the Mennonites that own it. We have a local feed place that obviously we go to, but they also carry really cute local, like, little cutesy decor. We have some dress shops. And so what I did is I put in some earrings from one of my friends who makes earrings into the box. So that got her some advertisement. She was super excited about it, told her friends about that, this was going to be in the mystery bag. Sometimes I'm going to put in a gift certificate to one of our local dress shops. So I try to pick something locally for them. Hostess gifts. I always give the host something in addition, like I said, with the one who does the Mardi Gras. I want to spoil them some. And so, like, I found these at the Mennonite store, and I put a little fan in this and a little pod and gave it to them and said, you're awesome. Thank you so much for doing this. And I gave them to them at the outset. So then they try really, really, really hard to do something for me because I did something for them. Let's see. So I don't have all the wonderful bullet points that Kelsey had come up with. You can tell Kelsey's a teacher. All I do is I ask and I sample, and I ask them to host. I ask them, hey, what can I give you so that you can try it? And then I ask them what they want to try. And I'm constantly handing out stuff. So like this right here is, and I love these. This is a reusable bag. So it's like super environmental. But I put in some scents from the new catalog, and I thought it looked kind of springy and summery. So I give these out to my people that typically order. And I'm not going to mail these because I don't have a lot of people that I mail to. I'm just like Tri-County area. But anyway, so I'm going to pass these out once I get the rest of my samples made. So that's basically it. I literally sample people to death, and they give they buy stuff. That's about it.
I love that because that just shows how simple it can be. So what do you normally do like after, do you have like a system of like after you give it to them, you follow up after this time or next time you see them, kind of I guess like the teacher that you gave the dog samples to, do you kind of just keep up with it and when somebody wants something you get it to them and kind of follow up then?
Yes. I do that. Like if somebody off the cuff wants something, I keep this binder with me. It's like my trial binders, but this is my Scentsy binder. And it's got a calendar for my parties, and then it's got a list, my to-do list.
Okay.
And then it's got a demo, and then a demo product list, like right there.
Love it.
And
Yeah.
so I'll write down what I sample people with as long as I remember to.
Yeah.
And then I do the Amy app, which I totally love the Amy app.
Yeah.
So it reminds me to go back in and follow up with somebody if I hadn't heard from them in a few months. And that's basically it. I do random happy mail too. So, I am not organized. I try really hard to be organized, but I'm not sure that I am. But yeah, I try to do like my random happy mail.
Than not at all.
There's my random happy mail.
Than you think, for sure. A lot more organized than you think. Because
If that's not
I don't know.
organized, I don't want to know what organized is.
I was literally just about to say the same thing. That seems pretty organized to me.
Well, maybe I'm just a little bit. But I do like a random happy mail. And I think, okay, who do I want to like sample? Who do I see in the pickup line? Who, like, for instance, okay, the local sheriff. He's like big burly man, local sheriff. He loves a minifan. Like, who knew? He fell in love with it because I gifted one to the courthouse. And so he wanted one for his office. He wanted one for his house. So now, like, and then once he got it, KSP wanted some.
wow.
And so I started gifting out like stuff for KSP. So, I mean, it just kind of like snowballs. But yeah, I just kind of hand stuff out.
You don't know who would like Scentsy, and there's so many people out there that have never tried it and just get it in people's hands under their nose. I remember they said that a lot when I joined. They were like, just get the scents under people's nose and they will fall in love and they will tell their friends about it and they will just keep going. So I love it, Laura. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, Serena, are you okay? Are you good to go? Maybe, possibly.
Laura, I just want to say this too. A lot of what you said I can relate to because I live in a small town, and I know trying to do, like you said, the mystery host things and the mystery bags. I love that too, but like I don't know what it is about small towns, but people are just like, nah, $35 free shipping, no. But if you drop it down to like 20 bucks, they're like, oh, just 20, okay. Even if it was like $5 shipping with that, they're like, oh yeah, that's reasonable.
I know.
And I'm like, okay.
I don't get it.
It must be a small town thing, so I totally relate. And I love your theme stuff. I'm gonna have to steal some of that. That is really good.
It's super fun. I mean, it makes it something different. It's fun.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna try to finish up real fast because I don't know what happened over there, but she's very unhappy. Okay, is that okay? Okay, so the last couple things that I was gonna say, I did have a lot of luck with the mystery bags, but I lived in Berea at the time. I just moved to Lexington, so I do live in a little bit of a bigger city. The only problem with that is I do have a lot of customers out of town, and often they will want to partake in the mystery bags, and then I end up biting myself in the booty because I have to mail them to them. So you got to be careful with that. But I have gotten a lot of sales from mystery bags being in the city. I do a lot of bulk orders. I know that a few other people have mentioned that. It's just a way for people to avoid shipping, especially when shipping prices were so high because of COVID and because of the holidays. If they're around me, I don't mind to drop it off at the door, especially if I'm driving through their town, you know? So that's a good way to get orders as well, because a lot of people don't like shipping. And I don't know what it is, but some older people don't like to order online. So it's just easier for me to do it for them. They like to order from their catalogs, you know? So whatever I can do to get orders. I do a lot of samples, and I will drop off, like I go through Starbucks all the time in a lot of different locations. So when I go through the drive-thru, I'm like, here, have a sample, let your coworkers smell it. And I put my business card in there. I put a brochure in there. If I am out and about and I have an extra fan, little mini fan in my car, I try to keep those around. I'll give them to a police officer. And then they will, I know that you were talking about KSP, they will tell everybody else. My ex-husband works driving a truck for a living. So he has one in his truck. And I told all of his coworkers, you know, put them in your trucks because they're in those trucks all day long. Let's see. Oh, I do a lot of, what's it called? My mom brain is like scrambled now because she got hurt. For my customers that order a lot from me, and I'm talking like 500 plus over months, you know, I will go to Hobby Lobby, or I will go to the at-home store and buy a $3 mug with their initial on it or something like that, fill it with candy, give them a free couple wax bars, put that in there, but it makes it personable because then they have a mug with their initial, and it shows that you went out of your way to buy something that's not from our company, to show your appreciation to them. So I do things like that. Anytime somebody, like over Christmas, I had a couple customers place huge orders. So I'd give them stuff as extras that I just had, you know, from my rewards that I purchased. Just appreciate your customers, because without your customers, we wouldn't be here. I have had a lot going on this past month. So I was doing really, really great with my PRV. I think it's important that we know real life comes first. I did phenomenal in December and November, but this past month, not so much, because I had to kind of drop everything. And that's okay. You don't have to have a huge amount of PRV every single month. I think that puts too much pressure on us when we try to keep our PRV the same as it was the month before. Because if I tried to have December PRV, I would be bad. I couldn't do that. I ended up moving from Berea to Lexington, signed a new lease, and my dad passed away the same exact day that I left my husband. So I just had to put all of my Scentsy stuff to the side, but now I'm ready to dive back in. So I think it's important that sorry, I was reading the comment at the bottom. We have to make sure we're not putting too much pressure on ourselves. And that's about it. My baby said I'm done.
Serena, you did a great job.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about. Priorities, mom life always comes first.
it does. Yeah.
You did great.
And I'm not a mom, so I don't understand just yet, but I do understand that, you know, you guys, you have to do that. So don't put pressure on yourself. None of us are perfect. None of us work all day, every day, 8 hours. Life. Everyone has life. So give yourself grace. Whoever said that, I love that, because you just have to. I think it was you, Kelsey. I think you said give yourself grace, because you can't beat yourself up over stuff. If it's not going to matter, you know, a year from now, just get over it. It's okay. Everything's going to be fine. And we're all human, seriously. But I think what I love the most out of all of your alls was the fact that you said there's different ways for all of you that you did PRV. Some of you did the same thing and had different results. So I think that shows that there's so many different ways that you don't want to just try 2 ways and say, oh, I just suck at PRV. There's so many different ways. And it's finding like what works for you, what works for your customers, what, you know, makes you happy, what makes them happy, just finding that way that works for you and not comparing yourself to anyone else at all. I want you guys to know, like, if you heard ideas tonight and you're like, oh, I've never done that before, don't beat yourself up over it. That's what this is for. It's supposed to help you see there's so many different ways. And I mean, if we all got on here and said, I mean, we'd probably have 100 different ways of actually doing something. So there's just so many different ways. And it's finding also what makes you unique as a consultant. So, you know, have inspiration from others, but don't think you have to do it exactly how they do it. Just, you know, just get inspiration and try. Caitlin, you're showing us your face. So you're going to say something? Just kidding. You're like, you're not seeing my face. And then she comes on here. So I was like, well, Maybe she's
No.
got calls.
I just got done eating, so I didn't like actually look like a hot mess.
I know.
But you
maybe-
have been confusing me the whole time because in the comments, like in the chat, I keep saying Mallory Thompson. Mallory Thompson. I'm like, what the heck? Where's she at? I don't see her.
I know. I was like, Mallory, I like woke up this morning and thought, oh my God, I'm the one who's going to be like getting the call started, but it's all Mallory stuff. I was like, how else is this going to happen if she's on vacation? I was like, well, I guess I'm going to have to be you and just get on there and do it that way. So, okay, well, I just want to say again, thank you guys, seriously, so much. This is literally perfect timing because I have my thing at 8:00 and it worked out. And we're not on here too long. So I'm proud of you guys for giving an hour to your business. It's going to help, I promise.
Those
And
that show up, go up. Good job,
Yep.
guys.
Yep, and we plan on doing this. We're gonna do like an all for everyone just once a month, and we'll have like a theme before like a week, and we'll figure out who wants to do it. And if you ever like want to give us suggestions on something, tell us because we want to help you guys. And I just know that PRV is one thing that I think everyone could always use help in. So I was like, that's probably the best way to start. So thank you all seriously so much. And if anyone wanted to watch this and they didn't make it, I recorded it. So once we get it uploaded, I'm not real sure how to do all that just specifically yet. I kind of do, but not perfect. I will send it as like an email, and I'll probably put in the group page just so people can see it in general. And that way it's on there. All right. Okay, guys, I'm ending it. Bye.